All right, so it is 6:17 and the Apple is out with the iPad Air 2 and iPad Mini 3. So I'm like a lot of you folks out there. I get so stumped with all the choices. Right. I'm overwhelmed completely.
Yeah, 5 different models right now available. To sort them all out, here's Shelly Palmer. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
So you said something interesting. Because, you know,
I did? That almost never happens.
Just a moment ago when we were chatting before we started the segment. So since the iPad has come out, what, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you could always buy the Wi-Fi only version or the cellular version. One thing you now say, only buy the Wi-Fi. It's not worth the extra money, the monthly cost to buy the cellular version. Why?
Well, if you're on an LTE phone or a 4G phone,
which most people are,
which a large number of people are, not most, but believe it or not, more and more every day, because they're just pushing only 4G. It's very hard to buy a 3G device now. They all have hotspot capability, all of them. And so there's almost no reason, between the number of Wi-Fi hotspots that you can get to, plus the fact you can turn your phone into a Wi-Fi hotspot, to spend the extra money. And it's not just the extra money to buy the unit itself that is cellular network compatible. It's also, you got a monthly charge coming from Verizon or AT&T or Sprint for the device. So you're making a very large investment for what I think is no reason whatsoever. So yeah, that's true. If you're buying an iPad today, I would only be buying the Wi-Fi version, unless you've got a huge reason to have the cellular network. And some people do, right? If you're out in the field and you have to be connected all the time and you're not near Wi-Fi. But if you're a normal person going to school, going to work, and you've got a 4G phone, there's almost no reason to buy the cellular network connectivity. Now, the iPad Mini 3 and the new iPad Air 2, they are iterations, they are not innovations. They are so slightly better than their predecessors that they are not even slightly worth paying the money for.
Would you buy, to save $100, buy the old model?
So that's the interesting part about what just happened. It's not so much save $100, because if you're super price sensitive, yes, there's a $100 difference. You could get an iPad Mini 2 for $299 and the iPad Mini 3 for $399. You do save $100. That's all true. And if you're looking at the very lowest end of the market, that looks like a pretty big number, and it is a big number. But a 16-gigabyte iPad doesn't really have room to store your photos.
Right.
The problem, it won't have room to store all your music. If you're a Spotify person, that's less important. But if you want to have photos locally and you want to be able to show them to people, if photos are a thing you do, 16 gigabytes is going to go very, very quickly, especially if you've got a very high megapixel camera like an iPhone, where you're taking good 8 megapixel or in some cases higher resolution if you have different phones. So here's the thing you got to know. The only difference, for all intents and purposes, is the touch sensor, which is the fingerprint sensor that they have on the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, which is super awesome, except you don't use your iPad that way. Right? You'll turn an iPad on, you'll leave it on for a long period of time. When you turn your phone on, you turn it on very quickly and you turn it on off in a day. Sometimes up to 100 times a day you check your phone. Some people 150, you know who you are. But you don't use your iPad that way. So the upgrade to a touch sensor doesn't make sense. And as far as I'm concerned, the best thing you can do right now if you want an iPad is go buy the older models. They're cheaper, whether it's the Mini or the new full-up iPad Air 2. And some people are saying wait till the spring because the 12.9-inch version may come out. Wow, at that point, that's a whole other thing. I don't think you wait. Now's the time to buy the old one if you want to get one at a good price. And the new one, if you haven't upgraded, these really are the best iPads they've ever made.
Shelly Palmer, thank you very much, sir.
Always great.
Find him on Twitter and at shellypalmer.com. Thank you.